welcome back to That Cozy Book Nook, everyone. Hi, if you're new, my name is Tori, and I'm trying out a new setting today. No, welcome to my extremely messy car. I'm actually on my way to my local library right now because every Saturday they have this huge book sale, and I mean the books in there are always 25 cents, 50 cents, and $1, no more than $2. And so it's always such a great time. And this is my favorite type of weather right now. It is cold out. Well, not cold. It's like chilly. It's like 40 degrees, 39 at most. No, it's like 40 degrees. And I mean, I live for this weather where I can just throw on a sweatshirt and some leggings and just be my happy basic self. I don't know if I can film in the library, so if I can't, I will definitely just come back and share with you the books that I got from the sale. I got my coffee right here. So I feel like it's gonna be a good morning. I hope you guys enjoy this. I don't know what this is gonna be. This is really terrible vlogging that I'm doing right now. And yeah, so the longer I'm out here, the more that I realize this was a mistake because it's actually really cold now. I don't know if that's just like me walking, but about to go into the library. Why won't that side of my hair stay down? Okay, that's annoying. All right, guys, I gotta be quiet now. That's insane. This is a book that I donated. I don't like that book. Oh. Cool. I might buy that. I used to read these books. They were actually really good. I don't know why I stopped reading them. Okay. There's not really much here today. So I just left the library, and that was a mildly awkward experience because as soon as I still had my phone in my hand, but it was like behind my keys and stuff, and I accidentally pressed play on my music. Ed Sheeran starts blasting through the entire library for maybe about 10 seconds, and I was trying to like fumble with my keys and like turn my phone around to turn it off. And there's so many old people in there because there's a lot of elderly people who, you know, volunteer to help run the book sale, and they just have the most shocked look on their face, like. But it's fine. All's well that ends well, right? Everybody's super friendly in there, and the volunteers that they have for the sale, I mean, they're so sweet. And they have like little old lady gossip. It's so cute. I didn't really find too much because I'm only like an hour late to the sale, but so much was already picked over because they come super early. So I actually might go to Half Price Books now. I'm not too far from it. I always find some pretty good things in Half Price. So yeah, let's go. On Half Price Books. It's exciting. It's so gloomy today. Guys, I don't know what to buy. I can be a little louder in here. Yeah, I don't know what to get. I told myself I wasn't going to buy anything. I really love Alice Hoffman. I told myself I wasn't going to buy anything, and here I am trying to figure out what to buy. So, don't trust a bookworm in a bookstore. Am I right? I just came out of the young adult section just to see what was new over there. I was about to buy. I picked up Morgan Matson's The Unexpected Everything, but I don't think I want to buy that right now, so I put it back down. But I do have 2 books in my hand that I can't wait to share with you. And this is my area. I can live in the sci-fi fantasy area. Although everything is labeled science fiction, and this is definitely not science fiction. It's like, come on, get your genres right. I'm about to wrap this up, guys, and head back to the car. So we just had major success in Half Price Books. I went in there, and first I said I wasn't gonna buy anything, and then I was like, I don't want to spend more than $12. And so I got to the register, and it came to about $15, and I was like, darn. But the cashier was like, do you want to sign up for our mailing list? You get 40% off your highest item. I was like, sure. It brought the total down to like $10, guys. We are out here winning today. That's all I have to say. So I'm on my way to the grocery store now, and then on my way back home, and I can't wait to share with you all the books that I got today. I bought 4 books, 2 from the library sale and now 2 from Half Price Books. So we're gonna hurry up and get back home, and I'm gonna share with you all this magic that just happened.
A few moments later.
And I stopped and got Chick-fil-A. It's just fries I'm vegetarian, so it's just fries, and I got a milkshake. Woohoo! Okay, I am finally back home. It has been such a long day. I feel like I've been with you guys all day long, even though in reality, when I edit all of this down, it's probably only going to be like 7 minutes. But I've literally been out of this house since about 11 o'clock this morning. I'm going to start with the books that I got from the library sale, and then move on to the books that I picked up from half price, and then wait, I get home and there is a book in the mailbox. It's just been wild. It's been wild all day long. So I can't wait to share that book with you as well. I got it for $1, by the way, on Amazon. Just throwing that out there. Let's go ahead and get started with the library books first. And the first one that I picked up was The Paying Guests. And this is by Sarah Waters. Guys, this is my very first Sarah Waters book. For those who are just unfamiliar with Sarah Waters in general, she is a historical fiction writer. Primarily, I'm not sure if she's ever branched out into other genres, but I know primarily she does write historical fiction. And so this book takes place in 1922, right after the First World War, and it follows this woman named Mrs. Ray and her daughter Frances, who is well on her way to becoming a spinster. Just with everyone coming home from the war, Mrs. Ray and her daughter are kind of obliged to take in tenants into their home, and so it just becomes really kind of open doors from there. And you just have these people kind of moving in and out of the house and slowly changing the way Frances looks at a lot of things. And so one day, this young couple named Lillian and Leonard Barber come into the house, and from there, Lillian and Frances develop this really strong friendship, and secrets start spilling out, hidden desires, all this kind of stuff. And so many things are happening in Frances's life that will forever change it, and no one knows how far these secrets and how far these admitted desires and confessions like that will actually go. And the last book that I picked up from the sale was 4th of July Creek, and this is by Smith Henderson. This book is about a man named Pete Snow who one day finds this 11-year-old boy in the wilderness. His name is Benjamin Pearl. Pete, develops a connection with him, and then that connection kind of leads him to have to meet the boy's father, Jeremiah Pearl. And Jeremiah, he is this extreme survivalist who is just kind of waiting for this huge conflict or this final event that will then bring about the end times as he understands it to be in the Bible. And from there, everything just gets blown up, basically. Jeremiah starts doing things that attract the attention of the FBI, and pretty soon Pete Snow's life is put at risk, and just his home life in general. He inadvertently gets wrapped up into this big FBI investigation about what's going on with Benjamin and Jeremiah. And just based on the synopsis alone, it sounds like nobody is getting out of this situation without some huge consequences. I think I've probably said this before in videos, but I really love used books. I love it. Like the spine is already cracked for me. The pages are a little wrinkled. It's just it feels like this book has been loved. All right, guys. So now we're moving on to the books that I got from half price. But first, I got a bookmark. Look at that. They almost didn't have a T. There were 2 T's left, and then I would have been forced to buy a V, and it wasn't as nice. The V, I feel like when you see V's anywhere, it's like it's never nice. It's just always so like blah. But the first book that I got from half price was The Black Prism, and this is by Brent Weeks. This is the first book in the Lightbringer series. I've been hearing about this so much. It's been everywhere. It's been on BookTube, Goodreads, Instagram. I can't escape this book. This is about a man named Gavin Guile. He's pretty much, the big man on campus. He runs everything. He's the high priest. He's the emperor. And he's just trying to keep his kingdom in control after this war that's devastated everything. But kind of in the midst of trying to keep control over everything, Gavin learns that he has a son that was born in a faraway kingdom, and it just kind of messes everything up. The book then becomes, well, at least the synopsis says, this book kind of becomes this test to see what price is Gavin willing to pay to keep this secret, and at the same time try to maintain control of this land that he's ruling. This is a monster. This book is like, there's a glossary. Oh my God, there's a glossary. This book is 626 pages, but when you're holding it, it feels like this could be used as a weapon. That's not good. And the last book that I got from half price was, I've never heard of this before, and this is Savage Magic, and this is by Lloyd Shepherd. This book is not a part of a series. This is just a standalone fantasy novel, and it's actually a historical fantasy, so that's really cool too. bonus points there. Synopsis on the back is actually really complicated. This book takes place in 1814, and London's Covent Garden is kind of this place where both aristocrats and poor people can kind of go and be and sleep around and drink together and all this kind of stuff and just be, have a happy good time. But, really close to this garden area, a group of wealthy men are all found murdered, and they all are wearing this mask of a satyr. And that attracts the attention of this man named Constable Horton, who was then put on the investigation to find out what these men have in common, what happened that night, and just where to even start trying to put the pieces together. And so his investigation leads him to Thorpe Lee House, and just from there you get all of these weird and intriguing stories of witchcraft that's been brewing around the village, and these stories lead Constable Horton to this madhouse for the deranged, and it's a place where his wife is either a patient or wants to admit herself to this institution. On the front it says unsolvable murders, inexplicable events, madness, magic, and maleficium. You can't argue with that. And the last book that I have here, I love that I finally have my hands on this book. My coworker actually recommended this to me, and she told me it was her favorite book of all time. And I'm telling you, something inside of me just gets so warm and happy when people say that, when they recommend their favorite all-time book to me. I'm just like, yes. And that book is The Birth of Venus, and this is by Sarah Dunnan. This book takes place during the Italian Renaissance, and it follows this young girl, she's about 15 years old, named Alessandra. And one day Alessandra's father goes to the north. He's a cloth merchant, so he goes to the north, and he brings back with him this painter, and he commissions this painter to paint the walls in the chapel of the family's Florence Palazzo. The presence of this painter is so fascinating to Alessandra, and she is just so intrigued with his artistic abilities and his skill and his love of art, and so she begins to fall in love with that and fall in love with him. But unfortunately, her family marries her off to this man who's wealthy, who's much, much older than she is. And just in the background of all of this that's happening with Alessandra, you have the Medici reign and the corruption that's going on within that, and trying to bring that whole family down. And in the midst of all of the religion and art and politics, Alessandra has to come to terms with what she wants, who she is, and follow her passion. And what does that even mean? And so I really do want to get to this as soon as possible, because I really want to be able to talk about it with my coworker. And it sounds like a really, really good historical fiction novel. I don't want to say this is my first Italian Renaissance. This is my first historical fiction about the Italian Renaissance, but it might be. Don't quote me on that. It might be. But yeah. So that is it, guys. Thank you all so much for spending this whole day with me, or at least it feels like it to me that you've been with me all day long. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section if I should do this again. Thank you so much for watching it. I really appreciate it as always. And until the next video, guys, stay cozy.